Warning: Tattness TV may contain coarse language and mature themes that may not be suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
You never see it coming when the sniper hit. That's my kind of dish, like infinite living with a ninja strength and confidence. The sun saw me dial it in, showed y'all what time it is. Shining only common sense. Daytime is over with, nightfall. Any minute X on my list, I black and night crawl. Here and there you see me, after that, a nightfall. On his own sword, you better come in the chord. What I'm striking with you flat. See, I don't sense the like of it. Anything can happen when you live. Engineered to thrive, survivors in 9 to 5. 5 out of 9, you out of a job though. You think I'm pie made now? See me at 5-0.
Tattness TV starts now.
What is up? It is us again. Not canceled yet. Don't know how, don't know why. But with me is my co-host, of course, as always, Tom. They just don't make them like they used to, Bruno. And I, of course, am your host, Hugh G. Hey, what the hell? I don't know how that happened. Highly inappropriate. Accurate as all hell, but highly inappropriate. Please don't cancel us. God damn.
They need us. They need us on that wall, Keith.
I gotta fix this before we get canceled.
Don't worry, I'll vamp. So today, waking up and feeling the overburdening sensation of the Mondays, even though it's Wednesday. Keith, it's Wednesday, right?
Well, you tell me. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I message Keith on a pretty consistent basis. Be like, all right, brother, I'm ready. I'm going to be there 10 o'clock. I got my stuff. I'm ready to go. I got some stuff written down. And he's like, bro, it's Sunday. I'm like, the Lord's Day is important, Keith. And I was just checking on you. All these are me just testing you. That's what they are.
That's fair. I mean,
yeah.
And then you did it again. And then the name fiasco here. This show is just an hour and a half long cry for help, isn't it?
I mean, who's crying? It's just a help symbol. It's speaking of help symbols, actually. Did you ever hear about that really famous picture of the Golden Gate Bridge with the phones up top? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So, the Golden Gate Bridge is what they refer to as a suicide destination. Pardon the French, I'm not trying to trigger anyone, this is just what it is. And people like to use the Golden Gate Bridge as, like, you know, the way to stop everything. That being said, they have nets, and they also have phones up top. And the phones are for you to call somebody, and they reach out to, like, somebody that's, like, in a call center, and they, like, you know, talk you through it and see if they can maybe stop, which is awesome. What a great service to have. There's a very famous picture of one of those phones with the door open and it says out of order on it, and that's just like the coldest, darkest thing that you'll ever see in your life. I got trapped on the Golden Gate Bridge, not physically, mentally for a hot second. Does that ever happen to you? Do you get like trapped places or things like you can't get out of your head? You look things up, you do research, everything, like, is that you?
Yes, actually, I don't want to get too deep into this just yet, but our guest last week, my God, okay, she flat out suggested that you could die, and if you so choose, you could be reincarnated as a rock. And I thought, what horrible life experience did you have to want to be reincarnated as nature's paperweight? But then she took it a step further, and she suggested that there are rocks that can move and talk. And I was like, okay, now you lost me. Before I criticize anybody's train of thoughts or anything like that, I tend to really do my research to see if there's any weight to those claims. And I'll admit, man, I was skeptical, but I did a lot of digging. The internet is crazy, so you can dig deep enough. You can find just about anything. And I think I may have found some evidence that might support that theory. Now, she says, there are rocks that can talk and move and whatever. What she did fail to tell us, though, is that they seem to be hostile at times. So, yeah, let me just show you the evidence I found, and you can decide for yourself if you believe it or not. But I think they come off as hostile, but it looks like they do exist.
Shut up, bitch!
It's a brief clip, but
I saw it. That was a hostile rock right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe there's something to this.
Not only a hostile rock, but a potty mouth rock. I like my rock clean.
Yeah, I mean...
So here's the thing about our guest. And by the way, thank you very much for coming on, ma'am. This is our commentary is not like supposed to be a jab or anything like that. Like, we are not here to tell people what to believe. That's not our job. Like, right? No, not at all. So, like, us talking about it is really just us, like, looking more into it and having, like, a conversation, which is important. So, after last week's episode, I went to a couple of my friends. Now, mind you, it's also the guy that, like, gives me weed, so, like, keep that in mind. But he's a very spiritual guy. He's always been into, like, conspiracies and looking to dig into the truth a little bit harder and harder. Yeah, it is like gods. That's right. Bow down. So as I'm telling him, kind of like trying to explain what it is that we did, he's like, yeah, what do you mean? Everything does talk. Everything is one. And I'm like, I don't think I'm talking to the right person right now, because I kind of look for some, chitter chatter of some fucking, like, laughy laughy. But no. I guess this is more common of a belief than I initially knew. Did you run into anybody that was like, oh yeah, I understand them. I see what they're saying.
No. I'm not gonna. Okay. Like I got nothing. I really, I'm not taking any jabs at our guests or anything. There are going to be guests that come off a certain way, whatever, and I get that. But I will say this: I promise you right now that is the last damn time that any guest comes on this show and has my co-host raising his hand like a kindergartner to speak. Fuck that.
I do talk quite a bit, as you can tell from me always interrupting you. I like to talk, and people sometimes, I think, they don't get a platform. Keith, you've had a platform for a very long time. You've used your platform well, right?
Yeah, I mean... you know what? I will give you this to answer your other question, because my answer might have been unfair. My father-in-law actually texted me suggesting that that may have been the best show yet. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But then at the same time, I thought about it. And I'm thinking, he's all like, that was the best damn show yet, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't know why I just made my father-in-law sound like Vince McMahon. Like he just texted me, goddamn, pal, that was the best fucking show. But he texted me saying that may have been the best one yet. And I'm thinking, oh, cool. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute. You just said that potentially the best show yet that you've seen was the one where I barely fucking spoke a word. And I'm thinking,
what did you say?
like
it's like he likes everything about the show except us, which is fine. Like, you don't have to like us.
Right.
The music is fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate you.
The bits dropped in, masterful. It's
I appreciate
us that is the problem. So our show will be the highest rated show ever once we're not on it. That's cold blooded. That makes me sick.
I knew that from the start. Like, I made peace with that from the beginning.
Ridiculous.
I love how you were like, I said, I'm changing the time so it's an hour earlier for the people. And I love how you're like, wait, with commitments and whatever, we can do that? And you know me being me, I in my mind I was gonna screw with you, and just be that dude. Be like, yeah, Tom, when your name is like in the title of the show, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Kind of like this.
Damn it, R. Kelly. How dare you? Stay out of the show. Upstaging piece of shit. Okay. First of all, that's ridiculous. Still ridiculous. You're such an asshole. Yes, Keith. That's what I've been missing this entire time. Clearly, not putting my name in the show has been what's been setting me back. I really need to do that. In fact, next week you will see like Keith's name like scribbled out. It'll be awesome. It'll have no followers. It will have no recognition. You got like what the hell is it? Like a McDonald's. What is that? That's like a business clearly, but what's the brand recognition. So that's what you have. I know. So it'll work really well. I believe in us.
The show title will be written in crayon with backwards letters and his own name spelled incorrectly.
Your mom has let you have crayons. Lucky. I can't
right.
be trusted with them. I shove them
now
places.
This might surprise you, but there's a new segment that, as you know, I like to think I'm a man of culture. So I try to learn some things here and there. So here's a new segment for you. Me learning.
Tattness learns Spanish.
Tu mamá es una puta.
Your mom is a hoe.
This has been Tattness learns Spanish. We're sorry.
It's a tough language to learn, but I'm getting there learning the basics, let me tell you.
I'm really glad that you're hitting the bibliotecas, buddy. You're a smart guy. I'm pretty sure you're a man of the world, which means you don't need to learn Spanish. People understand you.
I think everything I just showed you proves the exact opposite.
I didn't understand you. Yeah, I didn't understand that robot girl. I understand this. I understand vibes, bro. I don't need to speak languages. It's language of love. Things, stuff.
Piss.
Piss. Don't you fucking dare bring him back. He's not allowed in the show. It's bad.
I mean, it's the only. It might be the only thing stopping us from getting sued. That might be the exact reason we do get sued. I don't really know.
R. Kelly would be the guy to watch the show and take his segments out and be like, how long did they play my image on that screen? Can I sue them yet? Just
right.
So you know, R. Kelly, I got like $0 and 0 cents. I got kids and a mortgage and a wife and dogs. So like, come at me, bro. I got all the piss you could ever stand, son.
He needs the bail money right now. That's why I put him on 3 times on that last show.
Oh, so you're paying him each time. What a good guy you are.
Well, no, I'm just giving him the opportunity to sue. He's going to have to earn it. Like, I'm not paying nobody's shit. What do I look like? A guy that pays people things?
A pack of smokes and a thing of ramen. These are the things you get and nothing else.
A bar of soap and a Fig Newton if he's lucky.
Whoa. Do you like Fig Newtons?
No, they're nasty.
No,
that's why I'm giving them to him.
Fuck it. Fuck Fig Newtons. Like, who the hell decided we're going to take nature's diarrhea producer and put it in a very dry cookie and call it dessert?
Yeah, no, that's not the move. Like, bro, I would rather be the guy to hold the dartboard while Helen Keller and Ray Charles compete for the championship rather than eat one of those things.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that name anymore. Helen Keller, she's controversial. Ray Charles is still fair game. He didn't die too long ago. He was a rock star. But like Helen Keller, man. Does anybody know who Helen Keller is? Anybody raise their hand?
I mean,
oh, okay.
I just suggested she was dope enough to make it to the tournament. So, I mean, the finals, bro. It's kind of a big deal.
So, like, I know bits and pieces about Helen Keller, but nothing so significant that I'd be like, oh, let me inform you. Let me teach you something about her. I know she's a lady. She had, like, some serious stuff going on, and she could babble. And her nurse apparently tried drowning her while teaching her the word water, if I remember. That, once again, this is all what I remember. I'm kind of stoned, so.
And she's horrible at darts.
That's what I hear. That's the first thing I heard is like, you can't speak a word of English. Horrible darts. These are the things I know.
Right. So, as of late, Cameo was kind of hounding me to do the intro video. And for those that don't know, an intro video basically is exactly how it sounds. You have a profile on Cameo. You do an intro video to basically introduce your service, like what you're going to do for the people that are hiring you for the videos and what have you. So I'm kind of like, all right, finally I get around to doing it, because you know me, I do whatever I want when I feel like it. I'm not going to do it a damn second sooner. But also with that, you got to understand, and I'm not knocking anybody by saying this, I'm just saying this is an observation. If you go on Cameo and you look at the intro videos of literally any celebrity that's been asked to join, it's always the same generic video of, like, they're literally holding their phone shooting this video, and it's always the same thing. You can hire me for personalized videos for your birthdays, anniversaries, your cat's bar mitzvah, whatever the fuck, right? You know, and it's always the same old thing, and I'm like, there's no production value there at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that. I don't understand it. So I always have to be different. But I thought I would share with you the video because I'm a man of my word. And I included a service that I promised. So, as you can see, here you go, brother. Hey, what's up? This is Keith Tattness McCleary here from Tattness TV, Tattness Radio, movies, other things you may know me from. There's a lot. I'm here to let you know you can now hire me on Cameo to give personalized videos to your friends, your loved ones, your family members, anything you want. Birthday wishes, anniversary wish, well wishes, a little bit of tough love, even anything you need. Hell, even roasts. Maybe you got an enemy that has the personality of a plate of stale piss and the IQ of a salad bar. I'll be the one to break the bad news to him. I don't mind. Or, God forbid, let's say one day you're minding your business, a group of 5 kidnappers in spandex approach you, power strangers if you will, and you put up a hell of a fight. They assemble their windowless vans and create one big giant kidnapping robot. I will be the guy to negotiate your release, negotiate your ransom, and get you out of there safely. Whatever you need, I got your back like an ass crack. You can always depend on your boy. I love y'all. Hire me. I'll take care of the rest. I'm a man of my word.
Did you just describe the kidnappers as if they were a Power Rangers of sorts? Like a kidnapping van sword as well as spandex heroes? Is that how you just describe them? Is that how you think most kidnappings go down?
Sir, I do recall the term Power Strangers was used. There is no trademark. And yes, it could happen. You don't know.
Go Power Strangers. Dun,
right?
Go Power
Ski masks and spandex, maybe yoga pants, whatever. They're on a budget.
Go Power Strangers. They're gonna kidnap you right now. Oh, I would have watched that.
Imagine like you put up a hell of a fight and they're like, all right, this ain't working. Get the windowless vans. And then it creates this big creepy like robot with a mustache that just lures you in with free candy and kittens. I'm just looking out for the people, bro. It could happen. You don't know.
You are a man of the people. I saw the signs, and I, for one, if I had any money, I would buy a Cameo of you. But that's just so that we can do this, and you'd probably be like, Tom, I talk to you free every week. And I'm like, yeah, but this is special. Now tell me how attractive I am. Tell me I can kick the shit out. Ooh, that's something else. You can, like, sell that people are tougher than you. What they do is they hire you to be like, oh, yeah, Steve could totally kick the shit out of me. I walk around in fear around the streets of, where do you live? You live in someplace, Moose Jaw. I walk around the streets of Moose Jaw fearing for my life.
When the fuck did I move to Moose Jaw?
I don't know. I just said the most Canadian place ever. I was gonna go with like Ontario, but you're not there.
I'm from there, but I left there like 7 years ago.
You're saying that it's not 2014 right now.
Yeah.
I jumped too far back.
You've been hitting old Pastor Bong again, haven't you?
I love Pastor Bong. Speaking of Pastor Bong, so yesterday, I was. Oh, sorry. Please, Cameo. Finish off Cameo first, and I'll go back to my story about me being stoned off.
Oh, I got nothing now. You gave me a complex because now I'm worried that nobody's going to get attacked by strangers in spandex, and I'm out of business.
This is a PSA. Strangers, if you are fearing for, imprisonment or whatever is causing you not to do what you're doing, don't worry about it. People are so easily kidnapped. Just help Keith help you. Help you. That's all you gotta do. I got you. They'll do it.
Yeah, you'll get your ransom. I just want a cut of it.
Yeah, like 25%. I mean, that seems fair.
I was thinking 30, but we'll talk. We'll talk.
All right. Yeah. My people call your people. So yesterday was a very rare day off, and I was watching like a TV show while playing a video game, while doing dishes and all that jazz. And I get bored. I get really bored. So, do you get a lot of like, I don't know what Canada's like. Do you guys get like collect calls and all that shit? Not collect calls, like telemarketers, like people trying to sell you.
Yeah, all the time.
And that's annoying, right?
Oh hell yeah.
Do you ever fuck with them?
I don't answer phone calls, man. Like my agent hates my guts because I don't even answer him.
See, that's where you're missing out on gold, my good sir. Now, I don't like them either, but I do find entertainment in fucking with them. So I get a call yesterday from it's so funny that you did that video earlier too. This actually goes together. So I get a call. It's from a Vermont number, and I don't recognize it. We have landline. That's how like laid back we are. We got like landline. We got the dial up. It's like 1993 in this motherfucker. No, I'm just joking. We totally have Ethernet. Anyways, so landline rings, and I'm looking at the number. Don't recognize it. And I'm like, huh. So I pick it up, and it's like, is Mr. Bruno there? And I always say it the same things. I'm always like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And he's sitting there. He's like, hello? And I was like, ¿qué? And he's like, oh, uno momento. And I was like, okay. Now, the elevator music kicks on, and you would think, like, Tom, your time is so much more valuable than to sit here and wait for the Spanish-speaking person coming to translate for you. And you're, no, I don't. It was the day off. So I waited 10 minutes on the phone while they were getting the Spanish-speaking. A very nice lady comes on, and she's like, something Spanish. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, huh? And I'm like, why are you speaking Spanish at me? I'm American. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, somebody told me that they were looking for the Spanish translator. I was like, not me. Like, what can I do for you? And she's like, well, hold on. Let me get you back to the other guy. And I was like, okay, thank you. Elevator music again. Another 10 minutes of my life gone. So all of a sudden, the guy comes back on. He's like, Mr. Bruno. I was like, ¿qué? And he's like, no, Mr. Bruno. I was like, no. I'm like, ¿qué? ¿Cuál es la fecha? Now, mind you, I'm pulling from like 9th grade Spanish. None of this shit probably makes sense, but that's okay. He doesn't know that. He doesn't speak Spanish. Otherwise, he'd be talking to me. So he does that for like another 2 or 3 minutes, and they send me back to the lady. And then she's like, trying to do it again, and they've gone wise to it at this point. So I'm like, hey, so what can I do for you? And she's like, well, we're your insurance company. And I was like, uh-huh. Because, like, I've never had you guys call me before. And they're like, yeah, you're with this Lakeview Insurance. And I was like, oh, that's my mortgage company. And then all of a sudden they're like, you're Thomas Bruno, your phone number is blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yep, that's definitely my phone number. And she's like, and you live at blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, what can I do for you, insurance company, that makes sure my house doesn't burn down and I don't get paid? What's up? She was like, well, we had different rates, blah, blah. It was silly stuff. It was basically her trying to convince me. I'm like, so is everything okay? You guys are receiving your money? She's like, yeah, we were just talking about different rates. And I'm like, for reasons I didn't buy into it. I was like, okay, well, we're fine. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. And she's like, what was with that earlier? Do you speak Spanish? I was like, no, I just like to fuck. And that's what I do with my time.
I often get text messages that are clearly the wrong number because they're not even in English. So I got like this wild message from somebody, and it was clearly like, I would venture a guess to say Finnish or Swedish or some crazy shit, and didn't understand a damn word of it, but I responded with, I know, that's what I said, but they just won't listen to reason. And it stops those messages real fast.
You have to do it. It's such a common occurrence now. Like, the reason I thought my insurance company was a, scammer is because guess what? 1,001 scammers call like every other day. It's a little ridiculous. We had a pretty negative experience with a scammer like a month and a half ago. These things are real. They don't just get like your grandma and your grandpa anymore. Now they can be smart and hack everywhere. So, like, if I get a chance to, and it's on the phone where I can't give them any of my information, or where I choose not to, I'm gonna fuck with them. That's all I do. I like to fuck with them, and it makes me happy.
It's reasonable.
Like, super. It's reasonable, right? Like, if they are trying to steal from me, I can waste their time and make them, think about their choices. I'm sure.
I just crack up. I think this is actual footage of Tom when that Spanish translator came on, babbling at him.
What did you say?
Pretty fucking much. It was so much fun, and I thought I could like keep it going the distance, like see how many more times. I was like, no, like your time's not valuable, but you also have shit to do. Oh my god. Fucking What's the furthest you've ever gone for like for a joke, like long term, anything like that? Like what's the thing that you've put the most effort in so you could fuck around with somebody? Do you have one of those?
Oh, like long term? No, I don't think I'm capable of not laughing at somebody for that long.
You're just too nice. That's really what it boils down to.
It's like you bought into it. You're an idiot, and that makes me laugh, and I can't conceal my laughter. No, I can't do it.
Okay. On the flip side, and tell me if this is just me. So the reverse of making somebody trick somebody is to, I guess it's not really the reverse. This happened to me for a long time. There was a lady on the street that I grew up, and she was like a mom of one of my friends. She worked with me, in fact, like at a restaurant at one point, and she knows who I am, but for some reason, at one point, she's like, "All right, you have a nice day, Bob." And I'm too weird to be like, "No, my name's Tom." I was like, "Yeah, bye," and I kept on fucking trucking. And that lady probably still thinks my name is Bob because she called me Bob at every single turn. And I always wondered, do I correct her? Like, it's been like 5 years. Is it weird to correct her and be like, "By the way, you're a fucking dummy. My name's Tom." Jesus, get with the program. Like, what would you have done?
If I was able to commit to the bit that long, eventually one day I would just be like, "Who the fuck is Bob, bro?"
That's such a baller thing. I wonder if I would have the confidence to do that now. Like, obviously, when I was a little kid, authority figure, parent, blah, blah, blah. But, like, as an adult myself, to go up to her now and be like, "By the way, who the fuck's Bob? Weirdo. My name's Tom. T-O-M."
What if, now hear me out, what if she knew damn well what your name is, but she was a power stranger? Just undercover, of course. She probably wore all one color, didn't she?
She did, a lot. But she was like an early 2000s mom. They wore all sorts of weird shit.
Right? It was probably all like mauve. Just a whole fucking spandex set of mauve. And,
mauve. What a color to throw out there. Like, that is the most, like farthest reach for colors. You're like, robin egg blue. No. Dandelion yellow. Mauve. And you just
right. See, now, if that was me, just to fuck with people, I would go to like a designer and be like, "Do you have anything in a dog piss?" You know, like just really go for it.
What do you mean Crayola hasn't made that color yet? It's bullshit. Fucking hold people back without making dog piss colored.
That's oppression, if ever I heard it.
Yes.
No dog piss Crayola crayons? Fuck you. That's oppression. I will not stand for it.
This is Canada, and we don't believe in holding back the colors. We are a unified people under the Queen. Oh, sorry, my bad. Too soon.
Nah, not really. I mean, what if she's not dead and the Power Stranger's got her?
Oh my God, she is the most powerful stranger in the world. She got them, not the other way around.
I was just kind of thinking that's a really fucking high ransom that I could get a piece of. I got to work the angles, my guy. You know, I got a fucking baby on the way.
It's true. By the way, congratulations. We'll see.
Thanks, brother.
What happens next week? By the way, guys, there is a baby that is, just creeping its way out of the womb that is your lady. So, like, if Keith is not here, I will come on here and talk to you, right to you guys. Like, so you better hope that something else gets figured out, because I could go on for hours and days.
I kind of want to see the viewership on that one.
0.
It's gonna skyrocket because I'm gone. They're gonna like, finally someone else's turn.
No, wait, what you do is you bring the microphone into the OR, or the baby room, and the doctor's like, "Now, Mr. McCleary, do you want to like cut the?" Be like, "Yeah, totally, honey. How do you feel?" She's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." Back to you, Tom, and then we do it. We can do a play-by-play.
I kind of dig that, but I probably won't live to see the end of the night.
Did you get to cut the last kid's cord? Like the
yeah.
Rifle? Did you get to
Well, no, not Madden, because of the situation with him being born with a terminal condition and what have you. He was basically born in a coma, so like that was not really their priority. Yeah, but the one before him, yes, absolutely.
It's weird, right? Like
it is. It's really weird. It feels strange.
So, I always think about it like, do you remember Independence Day?
Oh my
with
God,
the
yeah.
aliens, with the tentacles, you know how it like wraps around the doctor's throat. He's like, "Release me." That's what it is. It's that type of material. It fucks with you. 4 days till due date, y'all. You heard it here.
Just a nice, lovely segue into, by the way, I will straight up murder him.
So, just for full disclosure, I do not support my daughter's what I consider to be racist accent when she talks to people on the phone. Every time I'm just like, no, I raised you better than that. And then she gives me this weird look like, dummy, you're high right now. Like, how can I take you seriously? And I'm like, good point. And then I just go back to my room, be like, that was weird. She thought I was talking to her. Back to weed. Fucking, I don't know. It's a crazy thing. The first time that you cut that cord, or if you ever get I only did it once, just like yourself. I only did it once. Maybe you might get twice. I didn't get to cut the other two. They just kind of like, yeah, old hat. Oh, hi.
What up? Good to see you.
We did it earlier, so you could come and be here, buddy.
And this is the thanks we get you. Can't get no good help nowhere these days, I'm telling you. Not even in the fan department.
Nope, not even. That doesn't mean
fired.
Michelle, don't fire Michelle. She talks a lot to us. Don't do it.
She's gonna kidnap me, and then I gotta negotiate my own fucking release, and no one's gonna pay that money. It's like $5, and they'll still be like, "Nah, you can keep his ass."
We'll pay because the dollar is way more stronger than the loony and toony right now, so we're doing good. I can afford to pay your ransom.
You know what they say, bro? Not all heroes eat crepes or whatever the fuck. So I appreciate you.
Of
Oh, fuck.
Man, you're my fucking friend. What? Besides, I couldn't do this by myself. I have no scapegoats. You're the best looking skin. No, he's not cutting this one's cord. I think it's gross.
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Gotcha. But the thing is that she forgets. She'd be really drugged up. She's not gonna know what's going on. You guys aren't doing like the all natural thing, are you?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, okay, thank goodness. Like, holy
Good
crap.
Lord. What are you trying to fuck? It won't just be me that dies. It'll be a massacre.
It's like that scene in Halloween 2.
Right. just a bloody mess.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I did not. And when I hear about it now, when I hear about people doing that, I'm like, I don't know if that's the right trade. I mean, I'm glad they don't hold them to that, because they're always like, well, if you change your mind, this is right here. And there's only a certain place you can get where they're like, no, you can't do it. Up until then, it's full pull, baby.
Yeah. No.
See, I was fortunate. Like, Shona had a C-section. I mean, she wasn't fortunate. There was shit going on with her, so not fortunate for her. But as far as like a guy that was like next to a lady, like, I didn't deal with tons and tons of like pushing and screaming and strangling and punching. That came after in the bed, and that's how we had 3 kids. Fortunately, she's the only one that had to deal with all the brunt of it. I was just sitting there like, yeah, we're having a baby, and she's like, I am beyond drugged up, strapped down to a table so nothing bad happens to our children. Stop making light of this. And I'm like, I love this, don't you? I'm surprised I'm still here. I should be dead 10 times over, 15
Are
times
you
over.
suggesting that when your kid was born, there was screaming and punching and fighting?
No, afterwards. That's the sexy time. That's how you get that stuff done. You understand? Like, you know,
I was trying to figure out when the fuck you had a child at one of my family reunions. I don't remember that at all. But I do smoke my fair share of the old jazz cabbage. So, I mean, it's entirely possible I would forget that.
How great would that be if I did show up to your family reunion? You just sit there. Okay, so like burgers, dogs, like macaroni salad. That's like an American bullshit thing for like BBQ family get-togethers. It's true. I didn't say I wasn't. I'm sure people just, came to their own understanding. They're like, oh, Tom's not the aggressive one here, clearly. That's fine. We got you. But like when you do a barbecue, like what are the staples that you expect at a Canadian barbecue? What are the things that people are bringing that you expect?
I mean, everything you just mentioned is kind of the norm. Okay. But when I do this shit, it's different because I'm a psycho. So I do like ribs, brisket, pulled pork, you know what I'm saying? Wings and a smoker and the whole lot. So like balls to the wall, like just feed people real shit.
So what you're saying is you are the worst person at the barbecue. You're the guy that like I show up with my, fucking macaroni salad that has peas and tuna and mayonnaise in it, and I'm like, here you go, guys, a thing. And they're like, oh, by the way, here's some smoked ribs. It was done for 12 hours. They were taken off at the precise right time. Still juicy, in fact, made 6 hours ago. And then I look at you, and I know. I'm like, how fucking dare you? You're that guy.
Well, I mean, oh, look at this. Thanks kindly. That's the father-in-law that, so Mother's Day weekend, I had people here. It was her first Mother's Day weekend, so I wanted it to be, a damn good one. So we brought some people that she would love to have here, that we love, that, just made a thing of it. And I smoked a brisket for that, made beef brisket, soft tacos, homemade salsa sauce, homemade pico, the whole damn thing. And that shit was gone in like 20 minutes. Like the brisket was a big ass brisket, and it was gone in no time. And I was like, all right, cool. People fucking obviously liked it. But yeah, I'm not going to bring a bunch of people to my house to eat fucking hot dogs. Like, fuck that, dude. Like,
I feel so attacked right now. I mean, they're ballparks. They plump when you cook them, you son of a bitch. That's so much meat. No, my buddy at the end of the road. We are very fortunate. We have really great friends. We're not the ones that throw on tons of parties. We do lots of kid events. Like that's what it really boils down to. But like,
there you go.
After you do all those, you get tired, and like how many times you want to like deep clean the house and like stress about the whole thing. So we tend to go to like other adults functions. But our friends at the end of the road, he's like that. He does a rotisserie. He'll get like a big hunk of like tomahawk steaks that you have to like individually cut out afterwards. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like I love it because I'm not going to buy these like whatsoever. I would never. It would never occur to me, Keith, to buy tomahawk steaks in more than just one. If I bought one, I'd be like, I'm fucking doing it large, Tom, with the fucking Flintstones cut. No. This guy does like on the every other week. So that's like it's a thing though. It's like it's showmanship. It kind of pays for itself, I guess.
You know, like when I was in Nova Scotia, it was the same thing. I'd get like tons of steaks, tons of wings and ribs, and I would do the charcoal barbecue thing and feed my neighbors because they all knew who the fuck I am. And imagine, what the fuck do I look like? Offered a bunch of grown-ass adults hot dogs like some welfare barbecue when they know damn well, you know, this dude's done all this, made this mad fucking money, and he's feeding me fucking juicy jumbos. Get the fuck out of here. That's insulting.
That was my nickname in high school, you piece of shit. Now you're attacking me as a child. Young Tom.
Shut up, bitch!
God damn it. I knew The Rock was going to tell me that.
I felt that was your feeling towards me when I attacked hot dogs. I just wanted to kind of play devil's advocate and vouch for you a little bit.
So I'm going to say that hot dogs can be good. They really can be. Like a good
They can.
Like
for sure.
Yeah, like a chili dog or red hot or like but the problem is like unlike the brisket that you prepared, you don't need to add things to the brisket to make it good. Fucking brisket's delicious.
You gotta dry rub it. I spritz it with beer every hour, keep it, and then baste it with a decent sauce.
No, of course. I'm not trying to downplay the actual effort that gets put into it. Clearly, a lot of work goes into it. But what I'm saying is, like, when you're done with that brisket and it's done resting and it's done sitting there, it's ready to go. Like, anyone that added anything to it afterwards, you would judge them. You'd be like, what the fuck are you doing to my brisket? Look at the juices. This is not a well-done steak at Outback, my good ma'am. Give me that back. This is coming on with me. You don't get that. Go have a hot dog with Tom.
I'm no snitch, but I swear to Christ, if I saw someone eating a fucking well-done steak with ketchup, I'm calling the cops immediately.
So, my wife likes her steak on the Weller side, but here's the thing. I don't complain. I just let it go because I'm like, if I want you to eat this, I'm going to give it to you the way it is. I'm like a restaurant, essentially. I'm Burger King, have it your way, which is fine because I want my wife to enjoy the food. But I have not eaten steak well done in a very long time.
That's boot leather.
It can be, but pulled pork. Pulled pork is the shit's cooked out of it. Like even if you slow roast it, there's really no moisture left. You got to leave it in the drippings to let it retain its moisture, and that's still good. So there is ways. You'd have to do some tricky things.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You've put me in a very difficult position now. Y'all are family to me. This is like a Breaking Bad situation. Y'all are family to me, and now you just disclosed to me your wife eats fucking pretty well done steak, and I'm supposed to not turn her in? Come on, man. Like,
okay, to be fair, like I totally let go of the Power Strangers thing, and I didn't tattle, so I think we're gonna be okay. That's 1 for 1, Keith. You leave my wife's steak habits alone, and I'll leave the white Power Strangers alone, and we'll be copacetic.
That just turned real dark real fast.
There is a white Power Ranger, to be fair, which I didn't think was weird as a kid. I was just like, I'm the white Power Ranger because he was dope. He had the sword, Keith. Well, he had a sword, Keith. And he was a friend of mine,
and he passed, unfortunately.
So
he became an MMA fighter after.
Yes, he did. And you just made me feel you are the master. You're just like flipping my emotions right quick. I'm sitting here trying to explain the 90s Power Rangers. Like, yeah, dummy, I know him personally. I'm like, oh, and I'm the asshole. Hot Dog Tom does it again.
That's what you get for peddling your wieners.
Fucking, they are delicious. If they have a natural casing with a good snap, it's okay. And then you put, what do you put on your hot dog? Don't you fucking like look at me weird. Like, what do you put on a hot dog up in Canada?
I'm a huge mustard guy myself. Like, I can live on just, if that's all I got for hot dogs, mustard's just fine. A little ketchup's fine just for that like mixture of the sweetness with the mustard, you know. But yeah, mustard by itself and I'm good.
I hear your guys' ketchup is actually like vastly different than ours. Like,
really?
It's supposed to be, yeah. It's supposed to be like way better up in Canada than it is here. Same thing with you guys call it Kraft dinner, where we would call it Kraft macaroni and cheese. So like, from what I understand, Kraft dinner is 10 times better up there than it is down here.
Interesting. I don't really eat that shit when I go out to the States.
Give me a box of Kraft mac and cheese, please. Yes,
you know, like,
fuck you.
I'm out there doing like autograph signings and like go to the finest restaurants to eat fucking boxed mac and cheese. Like, nah, probably not. So I've never. But don't get me wrong, I ain't that bougie. I've gone out there and I've gone to Taco Bell too. So I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We are going to send each other macaroni and cheese. You will send me a box of Kraft dinner, and I'll send you Kraft mac and cheese. And
I like this.
Try it. I like it too. It'll cost. How much could a box of mac and cheese cost to send? Like nothing, right?
No.
I mean, nothing.
I'll send you a case. I don't give a fuck.
I don't want a case, buddy.
What if you like it that much?
I'll go across the border. I live like 30 seconds away. In fact, I could probably get it almost quicker than the mail comes. Remember, if I spit in the wrong distance, brother, I am a terrorist because Canada's like there, not even like really there. Now it's a challenge. Fuck, I'll take that case of Kraft dinner now. Thank you very much.
I think she thought I was gonna take her personal stash and mail it to you.
Keith, where the fuck's my Kraft dinner?
If I end up on a true crime Netflix special, don't believe the hype. It was no accident.
They had the perfect marriage until one day he sent away the Kraft dinner. She was totally fine, and then all of a sudden he just sent her all the boxes. Where the fuck are we gonna get Kraft dinner now?
She's gonna mail you the boxes with my body parts in it instead.
Oh, like your fucking Mel Gibson from Braveheart. Nice.
I am part Scottish. It stands to reason. Yeah.
That makes sense. You are a fucking monster of men. Just so Viking. It's unreal.
Well, it's crazy that I'm Scottish, Irish, fucking Scandinavian, which it was we've talked about this. I told you I wasn't there. I had no fucking part in all the raping and pillaging and shit. It's unfortunate, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Are bad," like I fucking had a hand in it. Come on, son.
I don't have any evidence that you weren't. So until you prove to me, Keith, show me your birth certificate.
I would if it wasn't disintegrating.
Yeah,
it's so old.
Dude, like, I mean, they are. But the problem is, like, I needed a birth certificate really badly not too long ago. I, lost mine because I'm sure it was my fault. And if I want to cross the border into Canada, you can't just, have a copy of your birth certificate. It needs to be, a registered, stamped, validated birth certificate. And so I went online, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get a new birth certificate. And they were like, $150, and you'll get it in 6 months. And I'm like, the fuck? It's only one state away. And then I'm so lazy that I didn't call about it, at all. I was just like, yep, it costs way too much. We attempted, we were driving by, and we would attempt to try to get it and shit. But, again, it's an 8-hour drive. So, one day, I was sitting here by myself, and I was like, I bet you can't be that hard. So I call the town that I grew up, that I was born in, and I was like, hey, what's it take to get a birth certificate, a verified copy? And she's like, $15. And I'm like, what, $15 where? And she's like, to the town of Poughkeepsie. And I was like, oh, what's it take, like a year to get to me? She's like, no, I can send it out tomorrow, the day after. And I was like, motherfucker, that's how they get you. Like, they were like, we're going to go 6 months beyond where it should be, and we're going to charge you 10 times the amount. Those pieces of shit. God. Was it you? Are you those people? Am I talking shit right now? Are you going to hit me?
I mean, I don't have the ambition, but I feel like that would be a dope fucking way to troll you. Just be like, sorry I held up your shit. Totally forgot it on my desk. It's too busy doing movies and shit, bro, to send out your fucking little birth certificate.
You're not going to hurt me, but you are going to inconvenience me to a level
big
where
time.
I just can't function.
That's worse.
Oh my God.
Just takes away your sanity little by little. Just chips away at your sanity. Do you have any idea how old my birth certificate is? The fucking thing was written on a scroll. No wonder it's falling apart.
It was chiseled into what the hell is that called? It was scrimshawed into a whale's tooth and shit.
It might have been. Now that fucking thing has decayed and there's nothing left of it. So
I find it funny that nobody says a damn thing about it being on a whale's tooth. But if we're like, say like, oh, some scrimshaw into an elephant tusk, we'd lose everybody. It's not cool.
For sure.
Don't do that. That's fucked up. I do have a controversial thought on hunting, though. Do you want to hear it?
Of course.
Okay. So
Let's get canceled tonight.
So we'd all agree that trophy hunting is wrong, right?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so like you should not be able to go and just shoot whatever fucking animal you want to, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely, 100% agree. Do not do it. I don't hunt. I'm a pussy. I like hunters if they're ethical. But here's the thing. Africa is unfortunately a very poor country. And when people like rich doctors go over there and they hunt a lion or they hunt something like that along those lines, they pay an obscene amount of money. And I'm talking so much money goes to the tribe, so much money goes to the state. Now they are very good about keeping track of these animals. It's like one of their main things because it's conservation. Once a year, if they were to do a culling of the oldest animals, now it'd have to be a lottery. It could only be like 2 a year, and it couldn't be like elephants and shit like that, like unless they're like on their last leg. But like the animals that are gonna pass away anyways, and these guys do not want, to bring the whole body home. That can continue the cycle. They go through the circle of life where the animals below them would eat it, blah blah blah. I almost feel like it's okay if it was regulated to an extent where you knew exactly that if some dude brought home a lion once a year, that lion was taken with, all the considerations. It was double checked, triple checked. It was not poaching, not bullshit. Nobody's hurt, because those older lions, they aren't good for a pride. Like, they get kicked out by the younger lions. They are basically outcasts. And all they're going to do is go and kill younger lions that actually stand a chance, because they can't even produce babies anymore. Like, so what do you think about that? Like, I think it would be okay if it was, like, measured, kept. Like, I mean, way above law, which, of course, being what it is.
That is exactly what real hunting is supposed to be. Real hunters... shout out to Steve Austin, who actually gave Canada a lot of props and said that the U.S. needs to do what we do when getting your hunting license and teach proper ethics and how to kill properly and humanely. And the fact that hunting, typically, especially for a guy like Steve who has a ranch, he said, when I'm out shooting 9 times out of 10, it's with a camera, not a gun, not a bow. But you hunt when you see some old buck that looks diseased, that's taking the food away from the young ones, bullying them, keeping the food from them, diseased, and going to spread it to the healthy and diminish their entire population. You have to take them out, because that's what's going to keep the circle going and keep them from going, into endangered species territory. Because a diseased elder that's keeping the food and starving the young and then spreading that disease amongst the rest of the healthy, they'll diminish real fast. So you have to kind of take care of it.
Oh, absolutely. And not even just like that, which is a very good point, to be fair. Like these older bucks, like they only have so many cycles in them. And when they get kicked out, here's the thing. We all like to think that like the deer is going to be like, oh, I'm no longer mating, I'm old, you know, my life is at the end, that they're just going to go lie down in the field and pass away all peacefully. No, that's not going to happen.
Never happens.
9 times out of 10, that's not going to happen. A predator, because every state just about has predators in them, whether it be black bears, brown bears, wolves, anything. Like, there's all sorts of things. They are going to find it. They are going to take it out themselves. And I would argue that's a way worse fate than a bullet that they don't feel or a arrow that makes them sleepy and they, you know, stop breathing. Like, this is a much kinder way to go about it. So
100%.
I think it really all depends what state you're from. Like, Vermont is very much into ethical hunting. We are very into that whole scene, as well as you should be. If you're going to take the life of an animal to, you know, give yourself sustenance, your family sustenance, and, you know, be able to, like, enjoy, if you're in that sort of thing, totally fine, enjoy the whole experience, that's important that you do it ethically, and you got to teach your kids ethically, too. I know there's many places that don't. Have you ever hunted?
No, never. Which I'm not against it. Again, for like, I feel the same way. If you're gonna hunt, use the entire animal.
Yes.
Waste nothing.
Yes.
It's just, I love animals, man. I'll eat them all damn day. But being the one out killing them, not really my thing.
See, but does that make us hypocrites, though? Because I'm the same way. Like, I don't mind eating animals. In fact, I love, you know, eating animals. I really do. But I don't want to do it myself. Does that make us hypocrites? Does it make us kind of like, you know, convoluted? Like, what does that say about us, if anything at all?
You know, it's kind of like having a profession that you admire, you know, that someone does the shit, but it's not something you see yourself doing.
No. I cry. I thought I hit a rabbit one time with the wife in the car, and I was like all upset for like 2 hours. She's like, I don't think you hit a rabbit, Tom. And I'm like, I hit a rabbit. Yeah, I'm not good about that sort of thing. I'm too empathetic. Way too empathetic. Like, I always talk shit because we have animals in the house, and like the younger kids, they'll get pets, they'll do X, Y, and Z. And the example I'm going to use is my daughter's cat. She got this cat, and I was like, kid, you are in charge of this cat, making sure it comes back in. We have predators, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if this fucking cat escapes because you're not paying attention, I'm not searching for the goddamn thing all night. I end up being that guy 9 times out of 10, sitting there bitching the entire time. You are a big teddy bear.
You know, on the other side of that coin now, I feel like I have the luxury of, if I want a dead animal, I can go to the butcher and fucking buy it. But if it comes down to like that's your only way of eating, I do what I gotta do. But I kind of feel like I'd be that dude, like, hey, that deer, I could take him. I'm gonna just go jump on that motherfucker and choke him out. Like, I'm gonna try to do this by hand. Make it a fair fight. None of this hiding shit, you know, hiding camouflaged in the fucking woods. So this poor thing doesn't have a fucking fighting chance. Make this a one-on-one, man, and just, you know what I'm saying?
Local man Keith McCleary arrested for fist fighting a deer when asked why the gentleman got into this whole altercation with the deer. The deer said nothing because it's a fucking deer.
It probably shouldn't have happened at a zoo. That was my first mistake. That's why the cops got involved. My bad. I was just training. It's like a Rocky montage. This is just training and filming my training process, and they call that incriminating evidence. And my bad.
I just see you in the big freezer, but instead of like punching the fucking the side of beef, you're punching like a deer that got ran over by a car. It's like doof, 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 doof. Oh,
I'd be punching the butchers, just laying guys out left and right, and totally missing the point of the montage because I'm an idiot.
You You ever hit a deer with your car?
No, thank Christ, because that shit will fuck your car up.
Oh yeah.
They can kill you, bro.
I had a moose in mine. Took it out. What's up? I got one kill under my fucking belt. Just saying.
How? I'm mad now.
Why?
How the fuck has an American hit a goddamn moose? And I can't even see one as a Canadian yet in person. I have not yet. I have gone to Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia where people go moose hunting. Haven't seen a fucking moose yet. I come out here and the wife tells me all the time, oh, there's moose out on this fucking area. You gotta watch when they cross the road. I'm like, I haven't seen one yet. Are they hiding from me? What the fuck?
They are intimidated by you, Keith. They saw the cameo. They're like, fuck, he's coming for us. I don't have any money. They're
just out earning cash.
I'll suck your dick, man. I got to pay Keith.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know, Rocky. I don't have $5.
Jesus.
Boris. So I was on my way home from, and I got pictures for it. I'll have them for next time. I was driving home from a cooking job, and I was working at the mountain. Like, once again, Canadian border. I'm on this mountain. I'm driving home. My wife's brand new Volkswagen Passat. It was the first very new car that we ever got. And we were so proud of it. It was like a better brand. It was German. It wasn't like American cars like we bought constantly, and we were very happy. It was a Mother's Day thing. So I'm driving home, and I'm going like 35 miles an hour. It's snowing, and I look up and I see a big ass fucking shadow crossing the road. And I was like, oh, it's a fucking moose. And all of a sudden, that's when the other moose stepped out in front of my Passat, fell right into the car, collapsed the roof, made me stop my car, and then there was a coworker coming up right behind me. And the moose lumbered off down the hill. So I hop out that was a fucking moose. And she's like, yep, it was a moose. And so I did not kill him. I embarrassed him to death. And by what I mean by that is I took out their knees and somebody came and shot him because, they're not going to heal from being capped. I Nancy Kerrigan'd a moose. What up?
Damn.
I know. Right.
I like that reference.
Thank you.
What I'm a little stuck on, though, is I had mentioned Breaking Bad and your wife, and now you're saying you were coming back from a cooking job. What were you cooking, good sir? Was it meth?
Hot dogs over the grill.
Of course it was, you fucking poor bastard.
Once again, you do what you do.
Mac and cheese and hot dogs, bro.
This would be a good time to show you guys my cameo. This one's mine, of course. That's not true. I don't have a cameo.
Oh, no. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, fucking just because I really want one.
I was waiting for a video there.
No. Did they reach out to you, or
they did? How
does that? They did.
Yeah, I don't know if that's always the way, but they did. And I was kind of like, like everything. Yeah, it sounds all right. I'm in no fucking hurry to make it happen, but yeah, okay, I'll do it. Shout out to my personal assistant, Brianna, because when you were my personal assistant, you fucking were always reminding me, you got to do this by this date. You got to be here. You got to be in this state. You got to be fucking at this place. Do this autograph signing. Fucking sign this, sign that. Be here for this. Do this media, this fucking radio interview. And then without her, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that eventually. I'll get to it when I fucking get to it. Night and day difference. I'm horrible.
Really?
I'm the worst.
My wife is my personal assistant, and by that I mean she tells me everything. She tells me how to breathe.
She's gonna beat you with a shoe for saying that.
No, it's a good thing. Trust me. I'm completely if I had to, 1,000% had to, I did not have her in my life, I could probably remember dates. But she's the one that does all that. So now my memory's dog shit because she'd be like, no, Tom, our anniversary's this date. No, Tom, your birthday's January 17th. Buy me gifts. So fortunately I do have her because she keeps track of all this stuff for me. It's good.
Hold up. Your birthday is 4 days before mine.
Oh, really? Your 21st?
Yeah, you can count. Look at you go. What a big fella.
I have 10.
Fuck. I'm real proud of you.
Thank you. Funnily enough, so here, this will trip you out. Shona's birthday is January 10th.
Holy shit.
It's January 17th. Like 1 week exactly from each other. Guess the birth date of our first child.
I may be in hot water. Do tell. Do tell.
January 14th. Right in between those two.
Guess what? The birthday is of my first child. Good sir.
January 16th.
20th.
Fuck. I went too
Literally the day before I turned 19, he was born.
Wow. Oh shit.
He's 22 now. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I am a dusty old bastard.
Do you mind if I, really quickly before we get too far away from it, do you mind if I show the pictures of my moose? I got them pulled up.
I would fucking love to. It's the closest I'm going to get to seeing one, for fuck's sakes.
Full disclosure, it's not the moose itself, it's the aftermath. It's the aftermath.
Oh, this is going to be gnarly, isn't it?
No, not really. Well, kind of, maybe, sort of. I didn't realize how close I was to dying until, like, I talked to people up here, and I was telling them the story, and they're like, dude, you're lucky to be alive. And I was like, no, I was going like 35 miles an hour. And they're like, that kills people all the time, you fucking dummy. You're in a Volkswagen Passat. So here, I'm going to show you this. All right, can you see this?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
this
Jesus.
Is my car. I was sitting right here-ish, fortunately. It actually, you know, like, basically took me out. All I got was a broken nose. Here is the evidence that I hit a moose. I took a tuft of his hair. I was like, you take my $30,000 car, I take your hair. And then that's the other side of it. But yeah, I stomped him.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm a realist. So that thing fucked up your expensive car, and you took its weave. I don't know if that's fair.
Snatched his weave. Thank you.
Well, excuse me, all the hell. I forgot my hood that I come from for a second there. I whitewashed the dog shit out of that. My bad. Yes, you snatched the weave off a moose while he fucked up your whip. Jesus.
I like to think when the animal person showed up, Biggie Smalls song came out. It's like, who shot you? Separate the wheat from the Brooklyn streets. It's all
now that moose is gonna come back with the vengeance of Pac, and you're a dead man.
That's why.
So,
bitch, you fat motherfucker. I'm like, no, moose.
Could you imagine? Oh no.
How do you go after a moose? I mean, for fuck's sake, they are bigger than deer. I don't want to rub it in your face, Keith, but that's not the first moose I've seen. I've seen like 4 of them up here, one of them in New Hampshire, and then like I used to hear them all the time. They sound so weird. They are not what you expect. Like they are freaky.
I don't want to get too much out of your misfortune, but if that fucking moose comes back like Pac, the ratings are going to be through the roof.
So do you let the moose sit in my spot afterwards? If he can talk, like clearly he can't, it has to do something. But if it came if it came back blood soaked and it could talk, it's like, hi Keith, I killed Tom.
That little slip up is exactly why he attacked your car. Fuck you, Hitler. He saw that German piece of shit rolling down the fucking street, and he sacrificed himself to make a statement.
I can't even spell eugenics, Keith. Leave me alone. Like I am a very all-encumbering. I love everyone and everything. I will be your friend. Don't listen to Keith. That was a Freudian slip because I was singing rap. No offense to Vanilla Ice. He clearly amazing.
I love how the wife's like my lifeguard. Like, hey, too far. Like, tone it back some. No running on the deck.
1, too far, Keith. 2, where the fuck's my craft dinner? I swear to God, if you send one box to Tom, it's you are just elbow drop, people's elbow. What would she say if she was maybe a famous wrestler about you taking her craft dinner? I wonder.
Oh no, you want this, don't you?
Shut up, bitch!
I knew it. That's exactly it. I knew it was gonna happen. God. I used to like wrestling. Like I used to like watch some wrestling. Are you like a wrestling guy? I know that you know people, so you're not like talking shit about it. But like, were you a watch wrestling?
I grew up with it. With my grandfather was so into it when I was little, and I hated it because like we had so many TVs in the house. But of course, my older cousin Amy, and I, we wanted to be in the living room. He worked his ass off every day, never complained about it. Raised 6 kids, then raised their fucking kids. Never complained. All he wanted was when he's home, what he puts on the TV, that's what the fuck's up. If you don't like it, go to another room that has another damn TV and watch the shit. So I got to a point where I stopped complaining and I just sat through it. But then I caught myself at a certain age, like 4 years old, 5 years old, when he was at work and the shit would come on. Like if he was at work on a weekend and it would come on the weekend, I'd find myself watching it and becoming like a Hogan guy and a Randy Savage guy. So yeah, it grew on me, man. And then in the later years, that's kind of another way him and I would hang out, is we'd watch the shit together. And so I mean, it grows on you, you know what I mean? And then you know so many people, you're trained by someone that worked for the company, fucking
There must be a lot of overlapping between your career and their career, because regardless if, like, obviously MMA is real, like we know what happens when you guys go into the cage, but like there's still lots of training, lots of freaking determination, lots of like, you know, commitment to being a wrestler, full-fledged. They are hurting themselves, so there must be tons of crossover between you guys.
Oh, big time. And you know, you look at Brock Lesnar that went from pro wrestling to UFC. The sad story of this comment is that this gentleman, being one of the younger but just most brilliant minds creatively, caught COVID not long ago and passed because of heart failure. And dude was supposed to be on my show. We had great conversations. The dude was going to be on the show, and she's such a big fan, and she never liked the shit really, except for back when she was younger. So he got her back into like, oh, this is good, you know, like he's genius, and this shit's like a horror movie with this guy. Like, fuck, man, he's brilliant. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, right? And so I had conversations, and we were gonna like fucking get him on the show. And then just before it happened, and I had told her, like, I get him on the show, you get to talk to him, it'll be fucking rad. He passed, and it never happened. And so that still, I think, hits us all hard. So yeah, you know, injuries are so real. And you know who I know. So I mean, like, I'm not gonna sit here name dropping bullshit, but I can tell you how influential they have been on my career.
I mean, think about like, Mick Foley, like probably one of the greatest ones to ever do the sport. Getting thrown off like the Hell in the Cell, like that's like the era that I was really, really big into wrestling. Like that was the whole scene.
Yeah.
Like Steve Austin, fucking Sting when he was dressed like the Crow, fucking the Hardy Boys or Hardy Brothers, I guess it was. Fucking Rock, obviously, Mankind being my absolute favorite. Like he was just so different. It's kind of like when you saw Andre the Giant for the first time. There was something different about Andre. Clearly, the fact that he's a 20-foot tall giant with hands, you know, the size of your fucking face. But like, it was just different because everybody looked like Hogan and Randy Savage. And don't get me wrong, like nothing taken against these guys. They're still athletes and world-class fucking wrestlers. But like, you didn't see a McFoley every day. You didn't see like the pudgy kind of, hillbilly uncle from next door wrestling. And it was always like chiseled, good-looking men. More good-looking women, I guess, in some places. But like, so when I saw him for the first time and pulling like a sock out of his pants, to, like do horrible puppetry and be like, "I'm a socko," we just like, it's brilliant, dude. It's just a next level fucking cool.
And people don't get, like, these cats are away from their families 350 plus days a year. Neck injuries that they don't come back from. If they weren't wise with their money, and they're not all making the kind of money people think they are. Not everyone's Dwayne. Not everyone's Steve. Not everybody has the merch sales and whatnot. And you just risk your body for the love of what you do in hopes that, people give a shit. And then you got guys like my dude Kevin Nash, like that. I love the outlook where he said, I've witnessed people kind of snap at fans that would come up in Denny's while you're waiting for your food and be like, I don't have time for this shit. I can't sign your shit. And it's like, bro, 6 months ago, you were the guy watching other guys sign people's shit saying, I wish I was relevant enough to be that guy that people gave a fuck. And then the second they do, you're a dick to them. Fuck that. You can't have it both ways.
I know it's kind of taboo because, Vince McMahon being in the legal trouble that he is, but I will say this. There was something really cool I saw on the internet the other day. Do you remember The Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So The Ultimate Warrior, at one point, he yelled at a kid on his way out of the building. Like, screamed at him, like, in a big bad way. Like, he was supposed to be a hero. Like, that's the thing, too. If you're a bad guy, you can be that type of guy, but he's a hero wrestler.
I've heard that.
So, Vince McMahon hears about this, and he makes him, back in, like, 1989, 1990, record an apology on live TV. Well, it aired on live TV, but he apologized to that kid. He's like, no, like, this is important. Like, you can't just do that. And he basically told him he's either going to fire him or he's going to do the apology. And there's videos of him fucking up the apology, and you could tell he doesn't want to do it. But this is the most money he's ever made in his life. He can't go against his boss.
You know what, man? I'm going to say this. Just before his passing, the dude redeemed himself. He truly did.
Yes.
But prior to that, years even... like, he made mistakes. He was getting death threats because he gave a speech on Fox News saying Heath Ledger, the biggest favor he did for his children was to die, because he said, what kind of example is that to go and do a movie where you're telling your children that homosexuality is okay? He's like, I think yeah, dude, like, it was not exactly savory. And he started to receive death threats and shit because of what he said. He had his belief system, and it is what it is. I don't stand by it. I don't subscribe to the same beliefs he had. But he did redeem himself before he died. And I'll give the dude that. He was a passionate dude about his beliefs, about what he was doing. Even the people he was trying to motivate, he was hard on. But, I said hard on.
Do you know how much Vince McMahon is worth, by the way? Just take a wild guess. I didn't realize it was this much.
Oh, he's a billionaire.
3.1 billion with a B.
Apparently his health's not doing so hot right now.
I mean, it sucks because, bad shit happened, and, that's his own fault. But, like, he really turned wrestling into what it is now, like, completely.
Yeah.
Like, it was a joke when he was a wrestler. And he turned it into this amazing thing that hundreds of thousands of millions of people love, and that's cool. Like, regardless of all the nasty shit afterwards, that's a very cool thing to do. he really left his footprints in the sand of time, which is awesome.
You know, I'm going to be honest in how I process that information. I took that to heart because I thought about this dude built so many people's childhoods. He's done so much. And I thought about my own career, and I'm like, I will never be that guy that no matter how successful or whatever the fuck comes up, I've built this legacy that you can Google search my name. I've got a hand in fucking just about everything. That's rad for my kids to see. I've done TV, I've done radio, I've done the podcast thing, I've done fucking movies, I've done, you know, I got a beer coming out. I got another product coming out soon. I'm gonna fucking tell you about it too that I've made. Hope you like hot sauces. You know,
I thought for sure you were gonna say hot dogs. I swear to God, I heard hot and I was like, here we go. Fuck. Keith's
not
now
trolling
taking
this
hot dogs
time.
from me.
Not trolling this time. But you know, like I couldn't fathom the idea of disrespecting my fucking family and doing something so stupid that it tarnishes everything I worked so hard for.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying?
The problem.
And that's what's left. Like that's all people remember is how you fucking disrespected your family in spite of all the great shit you did. And then to have a legion of morons saying, well, when you're that fucking rich and powerful, you could do whatever you want. Fuck those people. Those are not the people I want in my corner. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, fuck it. The documentary that was made about my life, the second one that's made about my life, I'm fucking stoked enough that I was able to make such a difference to somebody that they wanted to do this shit. Like, that's the legacy I want to leave behind for my family, my kids, my wife. Fucking, I couldn't imagine doing something stupid that disrespects my family and then just tarnishing all that.
I think once you reach a certain level, if you're that type of person, because it doesn't just come from money or power or stance. It all depends on where the initial character came from. Unfortunately, that means that this was always in him somewhere, somehow. He just never had the means to do it. But you're not that guy. You're kind-hearted. You're just really talking about when you throw a barbecue, you invite as many people as you can possibly take in. You were talking about making sure that your community gets fed. You're doing all the right things. So even if you got to that place where you had that type of legacy, and don't get me wrong, not to take away from the legacy you have, I'm just saying if we're talking Vince McMahon proportions, you wouldn't be that guy either. So like the idea, the concept of like just doing what he did would never ever occur to us. It doesn't even occur to us now. Like, why would you do that? But I bet you there's at least 1,000 people, unfortunately, that saw that news article or read that or whatever, and they were like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, they're like, well, when you reach billionaire stuff, yeah, I've made millions in my career. You can Google search that; it shows up. It is what it is. But I'm no billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even if I was, that would not in some way snap my brain and be like, now it makes sense for you to disrespect your fucking family, ruin everything that matters that money can't buy, because that's what you're supposed to do, and then try to pay to make it go away. Like,
okay, so now that brings the question. I'm gonna put the caveat that yes, clearly you would do lots of good, you would be doing charity things, you would be doing all the right things. Let's say that you already did all this, but you got $1 billion. What is the one thing you're gonna do for yourself? And once again, everything else is taken care of. All the things that come to your head first, be like, no, I'd put money in this account for this person, I would buy this house for this person. All that shit's taken care of. You have like $500 million left at this point. What is the thing that you are going to do for yourself, Keith McCleary?
For me personally, for my mental health sake, try my damnedest to cure NKH. So give that to the people that are fucking genius, the brilliant minds that have an idea but just haven't nailed it down yet, haven't had the government funding. Like I said, man, it's too late for my son, but there's a lot of babies that just don't need to die.
I'm sorry. It just really speaks to me so hard, because I even tell you, I'm like, no, like all this stuff's taken care of, and you're like, no, Tom, like if I had that money, after everything's already taken care of, and my family, my friends, my community are taken care of, and everything else is good, no, I'm still going to keep on giving, because I unfortunately have this very traumatic experience in my life, and I want it to never happen to anybody ever again. That's just you in a nutshell, buddy. You're a good guy. That's why you can't be Vince McMahon.
Maybe it's really selfish that if I could live to see the day that they say, guess what, we found a cure for NKH, the peace that would give me, that Madden didn't die for nothing, that money is not being pissed away and squandered on, you know, everything but the research, I think, and just the relief that babies that were doomed are now going to be all right, dude. That would put me at peace. Like, I could just eat shit that day, get hit by a bus, whatever, and I'd be like, cool, you know.
I'd buy an island. You know, not like a big one, smallish, you know, somewhere not in Vermont. I would not buy a Vermont island. That would be bullshit. If I bought a Vermont island, I'd be so disappointed.
I'm so antisocial that, like, it makes sense to buy an island, but I'm so sick of my fucking self that if that's the only person I have to deal with, I'd have buyer's remorse, like, immediately.
Fucking buy an island, sold the next day for half the cost. Like, no, somebody else will enjoy it more. I don't need the island. Your wife.
Yeah, they'll enjoy it because I'm not there. That's what ruined it for me.
So why did you divorce Keith, ma'am? Well, he bought an island, and he sold it the next day because he didn't want to be the guy that owned the island. He couldn't stand himself. I could stand myself on the island, Keith. Twice over.
You know, mistakes were made. Here's a little PSA. You can't have buyer's remorse if you steal.
Boom. I like it. I'm going to tell that to my grandkids.
I'm clearly no role model. I don't know why I'm encouraging theft. I'm not. I'm just saying.
You're encouraging ideas.
You just can't get buyer's remorse if you steal. You didn't buy this shit.
The more you know. Fucking.
Yeah, go steal a fucking island and then make me look like the bad guy, you assholes.
Ooh, pirates. That makes you a pirate.
Now I could get on board with that.
Dude, like, being a pirate obviously sucks because, like, disease and
scurvy.
All
we hear is gold and rum.
No, there's no dental hygiene. None of these things. But you're still a pirate. That's gonna be kind of cool, right?
I mean, sounds cool.
Were there Canadian pirates?
That's a good question. If there were, I'm sure they were very sorry for all the shit they did.
We're coming aboard. We're really sorry to put you guys out. We're not going to hurt you per se, but we are going to take the money that you have right there. Now hand it over.
You know, we might make you listen to Nickelback. Fuck's sakes, I'd rather die. See, I would. Before I listen to fucking Nickelback, I would rather be a guest at a Harvey Weinstein party with Bill Cosby as the bartender. And I'm the only guest.
Whoa.
And Harvey just snorted Viagra. Like it's cocaine.
Oh, Keith is out. Give him the Joe Puddin' Pop.
Jesus Christ. We haven't been canceled or sued yet. Mission accomplished. This will be the time.
Yes. That's okay.
Between the two of us, tag team effort.
Either that or, you know, wives will divorce us. They'd be like, they're just too rude. Did you hear what they said? Horrible.
Like,
no island.
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with them?
I don't know. Everything. And mostly nothing. So, we are coming up on that time. I was trying to think if there's anything.
Yes, sir.
You're saying like that you need to say something, but I talk too much, so I cut you off a few things. Anything that you need to promote?
No, I think I covered all grounds and pretty much got us sued by every person that could be successful in canceling us. I think I did a fine job.
You did an amazing job. Okay, guys, so this is what we will do. Because we do not know when Keith is going to have the babies and all that jazz, it's going to be kind of like, like a pipe dream. But what do you think we should do in those episodes? Do you want me to find a guest host for a tiny bit? I mean, we're going to have to, like, keep you away with a freaking stick, but I know people. But like, what do you want me to do for the couple shows that Keith will not be around? You guys write into, give us options, ideas. What do you want to see? Do you just want me to run the old alarm system when the TV is done? Beep. I don't know. You tell us, and we'll make sure something equivalent.
They'll probably be more entertained by the colors.
You guys got 10 million followers now.
Right. Those color bars really fucking did it.
Color test. It's so hard to explain that to people that are under the age of 20. Be like, no, TV used to just end. Like, it'd stop. It'd be done for the night. No more.
I'm going to hell for this, but immediately it's like, you guys just spiked interest in the gay community because
awesome.
The fucking color bar
Such
test.
colors. Those colors are awesome. You guys suck. And
they got tired of your earth tones and your neon pink and fucking blue.
Lots of black.
Yeah, you guys aren't colorful enough.
It's true. We should be. Fucking hell.
We're gonna get sued and canceled
All at the same time. We're gonna be canceled.
I love when I get feedback.
I'm a good boy. I didn't do anything.
All right. Well, before we do get canceled, which we will, shall we give credit where it's due? Let the credits roll. Anything you want to say before we're done here? Have we not cut the brakes enough on this?
Hot dogs are delicious. Don't be a hater.
I fucking enjoy every week. Oh, and before we do go, for a radio host that literally checks out the show during his live show to say, I look forward to every Wednesday because the show is so fucking fun to watch. Always a ton of laughs. And I can tell you all have fun. And I just look forward to it every week because it makes me laugh. Dude, I fucking love that. That is such a fucking great piece of feedback. I appreciate the shit out of that. So, and that's coming from a dude from Philly who hates, like, they hate everything. So,
including themselves.
Right. So, I mean, we must be doing something right. So, I appreciate that. And one last gift for you, good sir. Because I love you to death, I appreciate every week getting to fucking spend time talking to my dude just for you.
So dumb. So dumb. I was expecting that. You just pissed all over me. I love it.
I just slap a sheet of piss on you before we close. You know.
Yeah.
That way you remember me.
A golden. Oh.
It asserts dominance amongst your animals, too.
Will you remember me?
Wow, you went Canadian there for a minute. I appreciate you.
Fuck yeah, baby. I got you. Our home native land.
All right. Before we alienate everybody, credits, we're done here. Thank you for not canceling us in advance. Thank y'all for watching the show. Love you. Hopefully we didn't make you piss your pants, and we do make people laugh to that level. Yeah, we're fucking out.